it's a crazy situation. And it's a bad, weird look for the org. You're being told allegedly by a guy with 6 touchdowns and 12 turnovers that he doesn't want to come back and play for your 4-8 team. Like, could we just have some normalcy here? And could we just get to the end here and get into the offseason? It blows my mind that even the most basic things, like, it didn't have to be this hard. You could see this issue and these issues coming from a mile away. I'm going to assume that, I mean, like, they're probably going to start Zach. Like, I don't know what the locker room's going to think and feel about all that coming out of all these reports, but I also don't know if it really matters. It feels like no matter who plays quarterback, they're going to go out and score somewhere between 6 and 15 points. They're going to be, if their defense is really good, maybe they'll be in a close game. And if not, it's probably going to get pretty ugly. And that's kind of it. And then we need to have a bigger conversation about, look, if you're not going to fire the head coach and the GM, how are you changing the offensive staff? How are you changing the people around Joe Douglas to make sure he can be better? Like, have we taken a look at the scouting department and the rest of the pro personnel and the college personnel? Are we just going to keep everyone? Are we going to keep Rex Hogan and that whole gang and bring him back and let him go and bring him back? Like, those, I think, are the bigger conversations here, along with, like, how do you fix tackle, receiver, and backup quarterback, which we've been talking about for 7 months. I just like this, like, Zach Wilson freedom fighter putting his finger up to the man. It kind of just seems like someone whining who's been really bad at football. And yes, he's better than Simeon and Boyle, but still been pretty bad at football. The stats speak for themselves. I ranted there, but what is your take on this whole situation?
I mean, it's obviously just an absolute mess. And you just wonder, how it even gets to this point, right? Where you have Saleh that responded the only way he could, where he's like, I haven't been told that. And, Zach might have been saying in private conversations or conversations he thought was private that, hey, I don't know if it's, me going back out there, I could, now this is a bad way to think if you're a professional NFL quarterback, but I could get hurt, or I can make this look even worse for myself, and I might be out of the league after this season, where I could just lay low right now. Who knows? But number one, these things getting out it's obviously a really, really bad look. And I think that, number two, it's just kind of, puts the cherry on top of everything that's been a disaster with this offense right now, is that it's so bad. You have rumblings of the original starting quarterback since Aaron Rodgers got hurt not even being interested in trying to go out there and galvanize the team again. And because, I mean, if you're thinking about it from how a lot of quarterbacks operate, it's not like the Texans have some powerhouse defense. Like, if you're confident, you're Zach Wilson, you're like, I'm going to go out there and throw 3 touchdowns, and this is unrealistic, and win the game. And then after I get cut, somebody will be excited to bring me in and develop me and give me another shot. So, yeah, I mean, there's just nothing good to say about it right now. And it just shows the dysfunction from top to bottom, or the lack of cohesion on this offensive staff. And I think with the Jets, the contrast is so obvious, because look at the defense. The defense plays as a cohesive unit. The defense develops young players and rotates the right way. And everybody's so eager to play. I mean, even when the perfect example, when the Eagles game happened and Sauce missed the game and Reed missed the game, and they have practice squad corners out there, but they're so excited to get in there and they look confident, and because they're in a scheme that sets them up for success and they know they're part of a unit that's having success. It's like when you see something going really well, you're like, I want to be a part of that. And the Jets offense is the exact opposite of all of those things, to the point where you get stories like this, that it's so toxic that a guy holding on to his career for dear life is like, I want nothing to do with that. But the bottom line is the fact that a story like that even gets out, because Zach Wilson is a human being. There's a chance that he had a conversation with somebody, who knows who it was, and said, like, I'm a little nervous to go back in there. Maybe it could also be something that he's not even scared or cares about his personal image. He might feel, hey, the team doesn't trust me anymore, and I let the guys down 2 years in a row, and when I go back out there, nobody has any confidence in me. Like, that's where the conversation, that counts as reluctance to play. So I think the way these things are distributed when they're so vague is this is why Rodgers called it character assassination. And I'm not on a side here, right? Like I'm literally on no one's side because I think one, when you report something like that, which is the job of a reporter, I'm not going to be the guy here and say like, that's a BS report. Like it's a very credible outlet, right? But it does lack a lot of detail. And I think that part is really unfair to Zach Wilson. And then I think the part that the Jets deservingly deserve to get absolutely dumped on for is that not only the infrastructure they've built that have led to this, which is the whole problem, but as we talked about on Worm, Joe, they are a building that it's like when it rains for the Jets, like any other organization, like this happens. It's like, oh, it's raining outside. Like it's been raining for a couple of days. With the Jets, it's like the lightning bolt hits the house and everything goes up in fire and it's all gone. Like it's just that's the
perfect
Jets.
analogy.